So I don't know if you're experiencing this crisis, but it is becoming a crisis in our society. And it has a lot to do with, affordable sheets with high thread count. Or better yet, one place where you can get absolutely everything. We're watching, I think men across the country are watching in horror as our wives, moms, sisters, are reeling in agony, and I think beginning to go through some withdrawals. I'm just...
It's June 2nd.
June 2nd. I know people have been saying you got to do it all June. And we've been doing it since before that. So we're a little ahead, and I think some others are. But I came home, was it yesterday or the day before? And I was home on a pretty, good mood. My wife comes home because my son is graduating tomorrow. And then Saturday, we leave for vacation. And we haven't really done, I should say, I haven't really done anything about it because I'm trying to juggle everything here. Mm-hmm. And so she came in the door yesterday, and she had a Target bag. And I went, Tanya. Uh-oh. And she just pointed across the room and kept moving, and she just pointed at me. I don't want to hear it. And I'm like, yes, ma'am. And she's like, I have 1,000 things going on, and I do not have time to run to 6 different stores, and it's not June yet. And I'm like, I think that is, I applaud you. I applaud you, sweetheart. Good for you. Take a stand.
Or don't.
Or don't. No, take a stand that you got too many things to do or not. Whatever you want, I'm with you. So now I'm not saying that I've kept a diary, but I'm not saying that either. Let's just say Bob's been keeping track. And on day 1, he wrote, over the course of this week, I kept notes in my diary. It was not easy. Several times my cover was nearly blown. My wife began the day optimistic, determined. She kept saying, I can do it. I can do it. For the sake of what is right, I can do it. And for a moment there, I thought this boycott was going to be kind of easy. I thought she'd, bounce into action and never look back. About noon on day 1, she started to crack just a little bit. She looked at me and said, the only jeans that fit me properly are from Target. Where am I going to get my jeans? What will I do without my favorite jeans? And, I think you look wonderful, and nothing this according to Bob, of course, and he sensed a change in day 1. One weird thing, she has been speaking differently. It's almost like a nervous tick. Random words come out at random times. Day 1, kissed her goodnight, said, I love you. She said, I love Lindor milk chocolate candy truffles. And I think that has something to do with Target, but I'm not really sure. Day 2, she began laughing today a lot, and then abruptly stopping into a grimace that reminded me of, gargoyles a bit. This is going to be a good thing. I really think it's going to be a good thing. It's going to be a good thing, followed by a long-winded rant about how Satan tempted Jesus, and this is my temptation in the desert. Later, I found her reading her scriptures, Matthew 4, while repeating 40 days of this. She tried to go to Walmart, made it about 10 feet into the store. She sped home and took a shower for 45 minutes. Day 3, have you seen The Shining? The way Jack Nicholson slowly becomes unhinged, it's beginning to feel like that on day 3 at the house. Several times, I caught her petting picture frames. When I asked if everything was okay, she said, "I can find gallery frames for an excellent price anywhere. Think of the frames." Later, I caught her piling bath bombs onto her side of the bed. I said, honey, what are those for? And her answer was a little terrifying. I can't really remember. I only something about the onslaught of a war of sparkles and tea rose. So I don't know what that means, and I didn't ask. Day 4, the shakes have begun. Confusion has overtaken her eyes. Every couple of minutes, she gasps, then looks around, face full of panic, and says, "Where will I find oversized blouses?" And gasp again, what if somebody has a birthday? Where am I going to go? Where am I going to go? What if there's a birthday? Day 5, midway through lunch, she shrieked, realizing she was only 7 remaining decorative pillows away from an empty bed top. Our day somehow got worse when news broke that Chip and Joanna Gaines had just released their new candle trough. That was day 5, didn't it? Day 6, the rations have vanished. The boycott now has begun to affect the family's food supply just a little bit. This morning, do we have any milk? And my wife whispered, "Don't you know where the milk comes from? Don't you know where I get the milk?" And I said, "I don't need any milk. Milk? What milk?" She was almost out of Meyer's soap, nearly caved when the revelation kicked in that she might have to go to Walmart, and then they only carry soft soap and Dove, from what I now know to be true. To make matters worse, Target had just released their new Meyer's fall scents, including but not limited to pumpkin spice, which, if you don't have pumpkin spice Meyer's soap, who are you, really? Then things really spiraled when she needed to pick up Starbucks honey flat white and some new laundry detergent for the first time in a long time. This was going to require 2 stops, and those 2 stops did not make her happy. At bedtime, she locked herself into the guest bedroom and insisted on being left alone. I could hear her reorganizing the decorative prints as she recited, "Make good things happen. Make good things happen. Sunshine is a state of mind." Day 7, for the first day, I have a little hope. Long story short, the whole thing was awful, terrible, miserable, heartbreaking, but still not bad enough to make me or any of my friends want to chug down a Bud Light. So there is that upside.
It's a harrowing tale.
Well,
are you okay? I mean, is your friend okay?
Bob's okay.
Okay.
Bob's okay. I feel bad for Bob. If Bob had a radio show and then he read that about his wife, I'm glad this is not about Tanya, especially if she's listening, because she's an angel and she is rock solid. Right now, I can tell you for sure, she is in our bedroom. She's got the suitcases open, and she may have done what she normally does, which is like also pack up some of my stuff. Right now, she's probably saying, "Oh, really? Really? You'll pack when you get home. Let's see how that works out for you." But she's not doing that.
Right.
Because she's not listening. Hope to God.
I have one question from this unexplained diary that you have from your friend.
Found it at auction.
Have they actually really released pumpkin spice crap already? Is that real? Jeez.
You know, there's a story out today. It's in our free show prep at glennbeck.com about why this Bud Light thing is really working, and that's because people are buying it at the bars. And if you ask for a Bud Light in some of these bars, people are just harassing you. They're like, "Oh, really?" And that's really how you do it. You just don't do that with your wife at Target.
No, well, if you want to stay married, you certainly don't do
Right. Well, if you don't want to stay married, do it a lot. A lot.
Yeah, the quote from is Marina Cafe in Great Kills on Staten Island. And they said, not only did the sales of Bud Light tank 2 months ago, but the rare partakers of the product these days find themselves reamed by fellow patrons. Again, like, you want to go in there and enjoy a beer. Even if you like Bud Light, you just don't want to get in there.
It's just so much easier, though. Like, my wife came home the other day, and I don't know, she needed to buy a blouse for my daughter and hamburger meat and a candle. I don't know. And she was like, I wasn't running to 3 stores today. I don't have time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I just think this is poor planning. What you knew you needed that candle a long time ago, sister.
You're going on vacation. What do you need a candle for?
When you're gone, I'm romancing somebody. Anyway, so it's just hard because that just breaks your day up. And you've got it. Bud Light is easy. Pull that one or pull that one.
Yeah.
I don't want that one. Pour a glass of that.
The easy substitute is such a key part of this.
Yeah, it is.
And I think, too, there's just that level of, you have to make it so you're not ruining your own life because of their bad decisions. Right. And that's tough to do.